We're gonna pull everybody back together. We have a new award starting this year that Linda's going to talk to us about, the Director's Rising Star Award. And Linda, take it away.
So you all may have in your pile of papers something that resembles this, the Rising Star Award. And we are going to be honoring 3 wonderful people today with the first Rising Star Award, which was founded by yours truly. It is the director of the center who founded the Rising Star Award program. And it's partly because it is easier for me as the director to be able to give awards and gifts that don't use public funds. So the center's Rising Star Award program doesn't use any public funds. This is all done because of a center director who is very, very lucky to have the first three rising stars to congratulate today. But the award is to really look at down the road, recognizing, and this just talks about kind of the eligibility and what we're looking for, but it really is to help develop, and Kelly, this carries on from your Women in Leadership, and the reason that one of the major reasons that you're receiving the award is the work that you've been doing with Women in Leadership over the last 5-6 years. But it is the development of our young leaders, and that we have got to have ways of acknowledging and passing the batons on, and in my case, reluctantly, because of course I don't want to let go. I just love what I do so much. But so we have got some criteria that you can read it, just quickly read about for the award. But basically it's, this recognizes emerging leaders whose record reflects ongoing and exceptional growth in contributions to their profession and increased levels of leadership and responsibilities. Rising stars are on the way to reaching senior level positions, and their record of accomplishments reflect a strong potential for appointments at the highest levels of their profession. So we talk about what from now on we'll be out letting our programs know, students and others that could be recognized, and we do have some criteria in how the nominations process goes. But what we did for the first 3, since it was a director's award, I got to nominate 3 people. And of course I was pretty selective in my nominations, and for some very, very specific reasons. Because as you all know, I've had an interesting year, and I've had a few challenges, and but because of our rising stars, which is Kelly Hale and Jasmine May and Shane Moore, plus all of you, everybody pitched in and moved into leadership and taking responsibility when they needed to, and actually made the transition for me from not health to back to health very easy. And the recognition of the young people in our team who did and helped with that. And I know all of you have said to me many, many times, Linda, I know you were gone for a while and getting healthy, etc. But Kelly and Jasmine, and, they didn't miss a beat. We never had any concerns, we were getting the job done and the objectives done. And I didn't have any concerns either, because I knew they were there holding the fort down and moving everything forward. And of course, what you also have, and you should have received, the press release. So we did a press release that went out this morning via Constant Contact about our nominees and our selections. And so we went into a little bit more detail about why they're being recognized. But I just am going to read part of what we wrote. This went out to about 2,000 people guys on Constant Contact. So this is, and Jim, I have some things I want you to say about Jasmine. And for the two of you, I have some things that I would like you to share about Shane as well. And then, of course, a few people will probably comment about Kelly. Yeah. So it is an honor to recognize 3 outstanding people with our Rising Star Award this year for their accomplishments and contributions to the center. So Kelly Hale, Shane Moore, and Jasmine May are being recognized as emerging leaders on their way to reaching senior level positions in their career. They have gone above and beyond their service this past year. Kelly, of course, is our program manager and has supported both the board and done special projects for the last 6 years. And she has demonstrated her excellence in her endeavors of really advancing women in leadership. And of course, she headed up the Women's in Leadership program for the past 6 years. And Jasmine has stepped in, and Jasmine is a graphic designer who has also become a social media expert and now a podcast expert to help us, because we talk about marketing, guys, and one of the things that the center is supposed to be doing is trying to help market and let people know about the programs that are available for at all community colleges statewide in the All-Hands Emergency Management area. So whether it's criminal justice or Homeland Security Emergency Management, our job is to really alert people that these wonderful programs and education opportunities are out there and where to find them and how to access them. So that's one of the things that Kelly and Jasmine have been working on. And Shane also has been involved before he got hired away by EMD, Emergency Management, Military Department. Shane actually worked for the center for almost 3 years. He started out as an intern and also as a volunteer. He also did and revamped our whole internship program and was one of our first regional coordinators to do outreach and education. And he worked for Bobby and Cindy for.
She runs everything.
So, and Cindy's comment about, do you remember what your quote was?
I do. He was a fabulous work study, and he was the best in big capital letters. My position changed a little shortly before Shane came on board. I used to primarily just work for the criminal justice programs. And then when we added the HSEM bachelor's program, I was asked to take that on as part of my job as well. And I was really apprehensive because I knew absolutely nothing about it. And having a son in law enforcement, I kind of knew the criminal justice world like the backside of my hand. So Shane came on board, and I'm telling you, he taught me things that I probably wouldn't know today if he hadn't me. So I was very, very fortunate to have him, and I miss him. Sorry he's not here today.
He can come back to work for us for $13 an hour, part-time.
Anytime.
Yeah, and
Very professional, always
Yeah.
there, just
always
always
dependable.
dependable.
Yeah.
I mean-
So, and Jim, I would like you to share just a little bit about Jasmine. And, because one of the things that, a task that we gave her, a new accomplishment that we set up for Jasmine was to learn how to do podcasts. And her first test case happened to be Jim Mullen. So if you'd like to share just a little bit about that experience with her and what she did to get you through for the last, well, you guys have been working on that podcast for a couple of months. Yeah.
Okay. Couple things. First of all, though, one of the big reasons this award seems to me very appropriate, not just for Jasmine, but it's the idea of doing it, is that those of us that are in leadership roles never can possibly give enough credit to the people that work for us. And they can be volunteering, they can be underpaid, as most of the people in ED were, staff people or even managers who do more than they're expected because it's important to save lives and take care of people. And that could be your receptionist or your administrative assistant or whatever title you want to call it, but far more than just clerical people. They're the people that get you on planes and get you off planes, that know how to get everything done that you need to have done in a crisis. They will do even more. So we should never fail to look around at the people that prop us who are leaders up, because they're the ones that make things go. And we can never forget it. The least we can do is acknowledge it. Now, in Jasmine's case, she was given a real challenge. Those of you who have been around me know that I'm not technically astute. That's, yeah, you can a little agree with it. But I wrote this, it's in the press release. I'm just going to read it, because working with Jasmine has been amazing. I had never done a podcast where I was the featured presenter. Whatever clarity in the technical preparation is owed exclusively to what Jasmine was able to make of it. Where I needed to edit or speak more slowly or elaborate on a critical point, I turned for not only encouragement, but for also unsparing assessments of the section we were working on. Jasmine, you really need to have someone go, do it again. And that helped. Helping someone like me, and I consider myself a certified electrical, and my son, who was editing a blog for me the other day, mentioned that I was a curmudgeon too. You have to relax and adjust to a new environment, and it's harder the older you get to do that unless you have someone guiding you that knows what they're doing and knows how to handle it. And so I think that to the extent that we have clarity in the blog that we worked on, it's because of her, because it wasn't easy for me. I don't think I was easy for her, but somehow we managed to get to the point. And talents like hers, as I say, should never be taken for granted as she advances in her career. The blog, by the way, is based on the 20-year anniversary of the World Trade Organization riots and the Y2K events that occurred in Seattle, because I was the director at the time. I went through both the riots and the non-event that Y2K turned out to be. We decided to turn that 6-part blog series into a new podcast that remains a minor work in progress unless you're done, and I don't know. But she'll tell me when we're done. And I think that's the key to this whole thing, is that as we move into new areas of communication, we're going to need people who understand it, but also can handle old devils like us.
I agree with that, definitely, fascinating. So Kelly, if you actually will stand and maybe come up here to the front.
Do I have to?
Yeah, I know. And I know that both Chris and Curry have thoughts about. Where do you want your dad?
No, that's great right there. Walking the
So
catwalk.
here's the bar, right here.
Yeah. So I met Kelly, I think you had been there a couple of years when I first met you.
2 years.
Yeah. And you know, she went from intern to then a work study and then a program specialist and then a program manager. And you rock, girlfriend. Seriously, the way she just takes charge, she's very good at reading people and giving them exactly what they need so that they do a better job for the board, right? And then she doesn't let them know that she's really running things. She makes it people think it's their idea. So anytime you're doing something, you think it's your idea, it was probably Kelly's.
She lets me know that it's not my idea.
Yeah, but she's a lot like you and she's really good at connecting and giving people the support you need. And you've done that for me a lot and I really, really appreciate it. And she never sends to me like, oh yeah, we sent that to you already. She just provides me what I need again without, you know, so I really appreciate it. And I think the Women in Leadership program is really extraordinary for a number of reasons. Obviously, I'm female, so I think that we're not given, I know, hard to tell, right? So I think that women are not given the recognition they deserve a lot of times in this field, which if you really dissect it, emergency management is really about connections and about relationships. And I think oftentimes women maybe don't give themselves enough credit for how they've been doing that all their lives, that we kind of navigate how we make things happen based on our relationships, much more than like, I'm the director of whatever. We don't do that, or not usually. Rather, it's about those connections and the relationships we have with other people. And you're really good at that. And I think that's really been an emphasis of the Women in Leadership program that you've been doing. So kudos, that's awesome. And I've seen young people who have come to those Women in Leadership sessions and they think, wow, this is really extraordinary. And now I'm connected with these other women leaders and I feel like I have a better understanding of this whole thing we call emergency management. So yeah, you're just super impressive. Thank you for all the work you've done. You're also an extraordinary human. So I'm thankful to know you.
And of course, during this last period of time, she has also, she got her AA degree from Pierce in business. Then she went and got a certificate in HSEM while she was messing around. And then she's been working and she has received her bachelor's degree in business. And she
And the
is,
master's is on the way.
and the master's is on the way.
Yeah.
From Excelsior College in upstate New York in Albany. So she's been a busy lady during this time. Chris, I don't know if you have any thoughts for her, and then we'll get Jasmine up here too.
There's her maker stand no longer.
So Kelly was here when I joined the board 5 years ago, I think, and past 4 years as co-chairs. We've had to do a lot of different things from regular board meetings to state-driven inquisitions.
Yes.
And conferences and just any number of different things. And Kelly has kept me in line with, one where I need to be. Very frequently answering emergency texts. Kelly, I'm in the parking lot. Which building am I supposed to go to? And you always have the answers. You coordinate things. You herd the cats like nobody else. So thank you for that.
There's a check in there, right?
Yeah.
So Jasmine, and I actually, Kelly might have just a few little comments about when she first met Jasmine and where she's at now in her career. No. Do you want?
Someone else go first, no.
Huh?
I'll go on.
Okay. Well, the thought that I had was what you shared in the press release, and I quoted you where you said, well, when I first met Jasmine, she was quiet and a little shy and
Jasmine's not the same person she was 2 years ago.
See what happens.
She was quiet and more reserved, but it was during the time we had to do our site review, and Linda would come up with something, wanted to do an exploration guide, and we wanted it to look a little bit more professional. With Jasmine's background in graphic design, she was able to take that project, her first project, and just ran with it, you know, she put the head down and did it, and she had questions, she had questions, and wasn't intimidated. I was really impressed, because most people who have worked with us don't put the work ethic that you do. And when Linda was out, and it was just me, I was so happy and thankful when Jasmine came back to work. I was like, oh, finally another human being. But it just made it a lot easier with her at my side during that time.
Yeah, Jasmine unfortunately had her own little challenges at the first of the year because she was in a car accident, a really bad car accident. And so she was out for what, 2 months? Yeah, about 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah, and had to ease back in. So, but also in that process, while I was on the mend, they took the idea of Confluence, which is our news magazine, that of course I slaved over for hours and hours and hours, doing everything the old-fashioned way of getting, you know, input into the news articles and stuff.
Yeah, and I wasn't gonna do that. So I was like, Jasmine, I need a template, and she came up with our new version that looks a lot.
And now they can pretty much do in just a few hours what was taking me 12 to 24 hours of work in a month to get the magazine out the door. So I came back and they went, no, you're not doing that. Not doing that any longer. We're already fixed it. It's expedited. Here's how you do it. And I went, okay, fine. So old dogs can't they, Jim? Learn new tricks. Yeah.
And your graphic design skills are really extraordinary. The products are beautiful. It makes us all look good. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Truly
she's
awesome.
helped the criminal justice program and done some graphics for you as well. So
Thanks for that, by the way. I would feel like they do. Award.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So Chris,
Not sure what else there is to say. The job you've done has just been tremendous. Like Curry said, makes us look much more professional.
That we actually are.
Well, yeah, we're not generally professional. But that actually helps us along in the mission. And I don't know that people realize how important that work is. Fantastic job. Oh, it is.
of course, she had to create the certificate along with Kelly. She created this stuff. I told her, so here's how I came with it. I came, 2 weeks ago? So I'm saying to Kelly, last night I was thinking, and I want to do this, and I want it to be, and of course, it's one of my hair rings. It was the right
Drawing, right.
Yeah, so I've got this drawing, right?
Yeah, like here.
On it. Yeah.
Last night I was
Pretty-
thinking, I'm scared of those words.
Yeah,
right.
Like, sorry.
So between the two of these guys, they took my harebrained idea and made it a reality, and made it
Fast too.
fast, and made it a very professional
Awesome.
and awesome experience for me to be able to say thank you to both of you ladies, and we will be, of course, doing Shane, fortunately, a little bit later at his
At EMD.
at EMD, which was very nice of Robert Ezel to agree to host that for his presentation of the award. But that's what they always worry about, is when Linda comes in and goes, I was thinking in the middle of the night and I did this little scat, or I did, so. You see her shake your head. So that's where we are at, and thank you both for helping with delivering that. And we look forward then to having next year some other honorees that we can get involved in our organization and have them develop into leaders as well. So,
Are you going to have some type of nomination process?
Yes.
for that going forward?
yes, it's in this little document right there. And so it talks about the guidelines and eligibilities and so how to go about making nomination and all that. So we'll publish this and it will actually be in the next 4 months, guys. And it'll be part of that with her recognition, with their recognition.